Many of us will have a couple of special occasions over the summer period, but as an apple shape, it can be difficult to find the right dress for the right occasion. We want to look stylish and elegant and put together, but we still want to hide that tummy. I have teamed up with Everpretty for today's video. They have kindly sponsored this video as well as gifted me the 5 dresses I have to share with you. I have picked 5 very different dresses. I wanted to really talk about the different elements that works for us apple shapes, but with no further ado, some occasion wear from Everpretty for us apple shapes. Let's get stuck into it. Before I show you the dresses, I just want to share the discount code that Everpretty has sent for you guys. You can use the code MAR601 for 18% off your next purchase, and I will leave all the links to the dresses that I'm sharing here as well as the website and everything else in the description box. The first dress I have picked not only because it can work for a multitude of occasions, but it also works for multiple different body shapes, and I appreciate that. In essence, it's quite a simple dress, and I think this is one of those dresses where you can really play around with your accessories to create different looks with the dress. For us apple shapes, this dress is perfect because it just skims beautifully over the tummy. There is no tummy in sight in this dress, and I really appreciate that. But let's analyze the dress from the top together. We are starting off with a square neckline, and the square neckline is beautiful on most body shapes, so that's really lovely. We have pleats over the chest area. It's just little folds in the fabric, but it's a little detail that enhances the chest area without really making it stand out too much, if that makes sense. We have a long sleeve on the dress, and that's one of the reasons I picked this dress, because I know there's a lot of people that are insecure about their arms and really want to cover them. Also, for someone like me who's always cold, having a sleeve, meaning I don't have to worry about wearing a cardigan or a shawl or something, having a sleeve is really practical. Best of all, on the sleeve, it's actually elasticated down the bottom, meaning I am in charge of how long my sleeve's going to be, because I can just pull this elastics up and alter the length of the sleeve for myself, and I really appreciate that. If you look right under the bust, you will see that there's this band sewn in here, and that helps emphasize the waist. And if you're an apple shape like me, you really need to make sure to emphasize the waist. That is what gives us the structure and the balance in our outfits. This dress has been sewn to go in at the waist, plenty of room in it, but this band just helps highlight the idea of having a waist, and I don't actually have much of a waist, so a great feature for apple shapes. It then goes down into an A-line skirt, so we have plenty of room in the skirt area, but again we have pleats over the tummy that helps disguise that tummy. Can you see that? It's brilliant. Now the dress is fully lined. We have a full lining underneath, and then we have the flowy chiffon fabric on the top. The sleeves are made of the chiffon as well, so it's a really beautiful and flowy dress. Now let me show you the back, because here in the back we have a sheared piece there, meaning it's elasticated, giving us not only a fantastic fit, but also great comfort in this dress. And then we have the little string up here just to keep the dress in place so it doesn't fall off our shoulders, but allow us to show off a little bit of a back. It's stunning. It's beautiful. This dress could work as a bridesmaid. It could work as a, a wedding guest, equally if you have a formal dinner. But most of all, I think this is a dress you can really play around with your accessories. I don't have that many accessories to play around with that would work for a formal dress, so I kind of went with what I have, meaning red and gold together, which is a little bit predictable, I admit. But if I was to wear this dress for an occasion, which I may in the future, you never know, I would definitely play around with some accessories and really invest in some accessories. As I said, a really, really versatile dress. It is absolutely stunning with so many beautiful features, and yet it's one of those dresses you can really play around with, which I love. Now, I purposely went for dresses that I knew that I would not only wear, but also in colors that would work for me. And that is why I went for black. I don't wear black all that terribly much in my everyday wardrobe, but when you have an occasion dress, having a black dress is always appropriate. I don't remember how many colors this came in. Something at the back of my head told me this was one of those dresses that only came in a couple of colors, but I'm not actually sure. But isn't this stunning? Stunning. Again, fantastic features. It works great for apple shapes, but equally it works great for so many different shapes. Let's analyze this dress. We have the broad shoulder strap, which is fantastic for me because I have kind of droopy shoulders and a large chest, and it breaks up my chest a little bit. We have the V-neck, which equally is fantastic, not just for apple shapes, but especially if you have a larger chest. Again, we have a band, this band with ruching Just it gives again that little bit of more of an illusion that I actually have a waist, and then into the A-line skirt. This dress is a one layer, but it's a lovely thick satin. It's really, really smooth, very, very comfortable. And look at the length of this dress. Even with a kitten heel on, this dress is really long, which I really, really love. And again, there is no tummy inside. It just sits smooth over my tummy. The V-neck then continues on the back, and we have a zip that goes the whole way down. It is such a timeless, classic and elegant dress, but I have left one feature to the end. Oh wait, I should just say we also have those foamy cup thingies in the chest areas. But the secret, excuse me, let me and my dress with pocket just stand over here and look amazing, right? Because we got pockets. You cannot beat a dress with pockets. I don't know what it is, but when there's pockets in a fancy dress like this, it just made it a 10 times better of a dress. It's such a timeless and elegant dress. And again, really play around with your accessories with this dress. I went with a pair of statement earrings because that's more me than a necklace. And then just a very delicate little pearl bracelet. And then the shoes, can we just take a moment for the shoes? They are from Primark. I bought them a while back, never knowing when I will ever wear them or for what dress or occasion I would wear them. But excuse me, are these two just a match made in heaven? Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, this is a fantastic dress, not just for apple shapes, but for so many different body shapes as well as occasions. This is, I was going to say, I think this is my favorite, but they're all amazing. I did pick another black dress because, as I say, you can never go wrong with a black dress. But this one is very, very different. Now, do you know how I always say for an apple shape, pick an A-line skirt because it flares out and that's what skims the tummy. The only thing is, not every apple shape has the desperate need like I do to hide the tummy. And playing around with different silhouettes is only a good thing. So this one may not be for you as an apple shape, but it's absolutely okay if it's not. I, however, think it is stunning and I still think that it works. Let's analyze it again. We have a beautiful sweetheart neckline. We have sequins on, again, a broader strap, which helps balance us out. We have like a crisscross situation going on here over the chest, which is fantastic if, like me, you have a very large bust. Again, our waist is pulled in with a seam just under the bust, but equally it goes from the knot here, which is what goes into the two sides of the very large slit we have in the dress. Now the slit is quite high and I can open it more, but the dress is actually sewn here and then it's covered there. So it's only when I kind of walk that it slides more open, but it's still not so open that I'm actually showing any of my underwear. And please remember, I always wear shapewear underneath my dresses and that's not showing. So that is brilliant. Now this dress does sit more like a bodycon, but it is this knot detail which gives ruching that actually works over the tummy and why an apple shape can get away with this dress. The back of the dress, we have the zip the whole way down, and again we have the deeper V in the back. This dress also have a sparkle in the fabric, which is an aspect that I really, really like. If you know me, you will know that I'm a real magpie. I love anything with sequins and sparkles in it, and this dress just speaks to me. We do not have foam in the bust here, just a little mention of that as well. But I just think it's such a stunning dress. And as I say, I know it's not your typical shape for an apple shape, but I do still think that there's enough flow in the skirt that can help disguise the tummy. But yes, it does sit more snug to the tummy. It's not so bad on this side where we have the knot, but if I turn around, you can see a little bit more tummy on display in this dress. But look, it also actually gives me the illusion of having a booty, so I'm not complaining. It's a stunning dress. It can be used for so many different occasions. Again, I would say this one is more for me, I would say an evening dress than it is like a wedding guest dress. But would you wear black to a wedding? I don't know. I don't remember the last time I was at a wedding, that's being honest with you. But yes, again, it's a stunning dress. One thing again, sorry, I just kind of pops into my head here. This dress is really, really stretchy, meaning it's really, really comfortable. I can eat and dance and be merry all night and still be comfortable in this dress. I love this dress so much. I'm really glad that I decided to go for a very different silhouette because I don't want us apple shapes to just be put into one box and just because we're one shape, we're only allowed to wear one silhouette. No, there's absolutely scope to play around and I think this dress, it's stunning. This next dress, once again, is a bit of a different silhouette because this one is more of a cocktail dress. It is a high-low, meaning it's up higher in the front and then it's longer in the back. I think that can be very, very pretty, and especially for us apple shapes because it allows us to show off our beautiful legs. I picked this dress in this gorgeous champagne color, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I think it's a little bit too much of a color for me. I do remember it came in a black as well, and I actually think it would have been very, very sophisticated in black. I'm just not sure I personally can pull off this kind of gold champagne color. Look how shiny and beautiful it is though, and how beautifully the fabric actually just fall in the skirt part. So it's not that I don't like it, I'm just not sure that it works for me. Now this dress again have the beautiful V-neck. We have a little flutter sleeve on, which is great if you don't like showing off your arms. This kind of sleeve is also great if you have very narrow shoulders because it'll broaden out your shoulders a little bit. For me, who is a rectangular, this actually adds a little bit more bulk up on my shoulder area, but it puts me into balance with the wider skirt because it actually gives more of an illusion of me having a waist. If I had a belt to match, I actually think this would look cute with a belt on as well. I think so. But we just have a seam here in the middle. Just like the black satin dress, this is just a one layer. Again, great quality of a fabric. I really do like the fabric. Look how beautiful it is. Oh, and it falls and skims beautifully over the tummy. But once again, the secret feature of this dress is the fact that it has pockets. It just changes the dress when it has pockets. It just elevates it. It makes it better. And it's all just for a pocket. Would I ever use these pockets for anything? No, I'd simply just stand with my hands in my pockets just to show off that my dress had pockets. But other than that, I wouldn't put anything in it. But it's got pockets. Pockets, pockets, pockets. Now, I really do like the dress. As I say, I'm just not 100% sure that I can carry off this material, this sparkly in this color. But I really do love the dress. And again, as I say, it's a fantastic silhouette for us apple shapes. So yeah, well worth a try anyway. My last dress, once again, is in a very different silhouette, and maybe not obviously for an apple shape, but I really do think it's well worth playing around with the different proportions with the different silhouettes for us apple shape, and not to put ourselves into a box and everything has to be the same shape. This dress is stunning, and look at the fit on me. I actually looks like I have curves, yet no tummy in sight. It looks like I could be hiding a bit of a booty in there. And then the color, again, you could have got this dress in a variety of colors, but you have the embroidery and the sequins on the outer layer of the dress. It is fully lined, and then you have a tulle overlay on the dress. Now, why this dress works is because down the bottom, from about my thighs out the way, we have extra layers of tulle in it. The neckline is a round neckline, and I don't know if it would have been better with a V-neck. However, because it's an overlay and we have the sweetheart neckline underneath it, I think it kind of gives it the best of both worlds, if that makes sense. We also have a little sleeve on it, which I really appreciate. So if you just want to hide those arms away, it's perfect. This dress, for me personally, is a little bit more practical because I am a little bit more covered. I wouldn't have to worry about having to have layers on or cover my arms or being cold or anything because I have enough coverage on my chest and a little bit of coverage on my arm. I just think this dress is absolutely stunning. And although it does sit more snug to the body, I still think it works. But as I said, I don't want you to only stick to one silhouette just because that's the best silhouette for us apple shapes. Definitely be brave and try and play around with the different silhouettes. And in this case, even though it sits snug to my body, it just works. This dress does not have the padding in the chest area, but I think it doesn't matter on this one. We also have the seam underneath the bust, which gives us the illusion of that waist. It really cinches us in. It goes full coverage on the back, but again, we have the lining that goes kind of to here, and then it's sheer further up, just like it is on the chest area. And as I say, it is a tulle overlay with a lot of extra tulle down the bottom. I just think it's stunning, absolutely stunning. The sequin, the embroidery, it is beautiful. And once again, please remember that a lot of these dresses, if not most of them, comes in so many different colors, sizes, The variety of sizes is absolutely astounding. I am so happy with all the dresses. They are absolutely beautiful. Quality has been absolutely perfect in them all. I used a size guide on the website, and I did ask the rep that I'm working with how were they in sizes, were they accurate in sizing, etc. And she said go by the measurement given for each dress and then just take into account whether or not you have stretch in the material or not. So you do have to read the details just to be on the safe side, but I have picked correctly in every single one of them. So absolutely amazing. A huge thank you to Ever Pretty for working with me and not only gifting me the beautiful dresses, but also sponsoring this video. I am really, really grateful. It's a very long time since I have taken the plunge and worked with a company, but I have worked with these in the past, and I knew that I was going to love all the pieces. So it was my pleasure. I am leaving all the details, including the discount code, in the description box for you. So if you're interested in any of these pieces, or even just want to have a nosy on Ever Pretty, do go and check the links and everything else in the description box. All right, but that is it for today. If you made it this far and sat through the ads, thank you so much, because that's how you're helping my channel. Will you do me one last favor for today and leave me a pink heart in the comments? The hearts are simply just to tell me and the algorithm that you enjoyed my content enough to stay to the end. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.